Isn't worth your time? And does this game good or is it a crime? Is it worth the time or your free time?
Is the first Descendant worth your time? From the entry, it is your usual third-person grappler hook game with varying characters to play as, and those require several hours to grind into to make one, if not one of the literal boss destroyers. However, that takes time, and this game's greedy little nature will require you to focus a little bit to earn as much as it offers. If that's a problem for you, fill in the blank here excuse with all that, then it might not be for you. In its current state, while it's fun, it sadly lacks a lot of depth, and many other games of its style have already. If this is a problem for you, again, this might not be for you. Aside from that, there's still a decent spread of community within the game. Now, this spreads across several consoles, including the PC. I've seen many an argument about how the community's dead, blah blah blah, and it's really not. It just has a spread from PC to console and all this. So while it may not be completely jam-packed like other games, it's still highly playable and fine in that front. Usually consisting of me being able to get into a round on certain events that I want to participate in. It usually scales you and pairs you with random people, so sometimes you'll get into a game with very skilled players, or players who just simply looked up a build on YouTube or something and suddenly became the grandmasters of the game. Or you just run into new players like yourself and you'll be pretty much be bumped into the chaos, which can be fun at times, and at most point you hear a lot of toxicity within the voice chat or the text below, which either way is pretty freaking funny to me. Another subjectively fun thing for myself is finding and earning pattern parts for guns, or finding materials or blueprints to construct said guns and make them throughout the game. However, there's also parts in the game you can also obtain to construct guns throughout the entire game itself. Now, the game itself has two different styles or methods that you can upgrade your said guns and further them down the line. Now, this of course is in tandem to Warframe's style, where you can upgrade certain things with catalysts, or catalyst blueprints to be exact, that allow you to reduce the cost of certain mods and everything else in between that are attached to your guns or your Descendants themselves. It plays into the idea of that simply if you put a little bit of work into each character or each weapon, you make them better and better over time, or grind work if you like to call it that as well. Along with that, you do get a decent spread of story and seasonal stories as well, and while those are okay and decent at best, they're not the best part of this game whatsoever. They're more so filler to kind of add some, I guess, background to each character or the game itself, which again, they're just sort of there to be there for me. I mostly just play the game for the game. I thought the story was okay at most, and what I did enjoy of it was practically some of the seasonal stories more than the actual core story itself, to be honest with you. Aside from guns, you also grind reactors and external components. But I'm not here to mostly bore you with the statistics of all these particular elements. However, they do play a big part in making your characters much stronger. Or if you're playing as a gun build or something, meaning you play and focus on the power of a gun and your Descendants' power to use that gun with boosting up the credentials of crit damage, like Blair for example, then you just practically build into that and find the best role for fire type and go from there. And along with all the Descendants, there are differences in several types, such as non-elemental focused, there's fire, there is ice, there is also poison, electricity, and that's about it. I mean, it's all pretty straightforward, and each build plays either a humongously huge part in clearing mobs or simply buffing your friends along the way. And most of the characters do have a vital role, even though some might not like how others play. There's probably going to be at least one character for you in the game. Whether you like being a tanky type like Ajax, or just playing as Kyle, you can do that. If you kind of like being a sorcerer of sorts, you can play with Vanessa. You could play as a stealthy type with Sharon and just do all kinds of crazy damage. Or if you like to roll around the entire map like a mad lady, you can play as Bunny or Velby and do some pretty darn good damage with either one of them, if not doing modest damage with especially Velby. I can keep going all day, however, it is simply to roll it all out of here. Is it really worth your time? I would say yes, if you do like games like Destiny 2 and Warframe and didn't have an objection to their grind. It's another nice little entry into that type of thing, And honestly, it's not a horrible game at all. It just needs more to it, or I feel like the developers should put more into the core endgame content. That's crucial, I think, for this game to truly survive. Otherwise, it's a blast. Pardon the pun.